Jobless claims surged the highest in almost 4 months after rising for 3 of the last 4 weeks, with a big surge in previous weeks as lockdowns reaccelerate across America. Analysts expect initial job loss claims to slow modestly this week, but instead claims soared from an upward revised 862 to 885,000, the highest number of Americans seeking first-time unemployment benefits since September. I've made a couple of videos about this. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or economist to see the writing on the wall. What happens when we're coming up what? Some places started doing lockdowns in January, in February, semi-lockdowns at least. And majority of North America did full lockdowns in March. January's around the corner. March is around the corner. That's one whole year coming up that we're economic lockdown. It's not a surprise. It's not a shocker. What's more interesting is the things that you're going to do. What are you going to do to counteract these lockdowns? I always say it's the greatest way, and I'm the first one to say this, guys. We are blessed to live in North America. Yeah, we have a bunch of shit that goes on, and yeah, we have our own problems, but at least we're not in fucking North Korea or living underneath the thumb of the Communist Party in China. There's much, much, much worse places in the world to live than where we live. In fact, we're the minority in the world, the options that we have over here. And in where we live, we have the option, and I love this option, and it's something that people are afraid of, but it's genetically ingrained in us. We have the option of mobility, especially Americans. In Canada, we're fucking cold everywhere. God damn it, I wish we owned some Caribbean islands. Fuck, it's fucking cold, man. It's like -10 the other day over here with snow. It's brutal. Anyways, enough of my cold weather rants. Hopefully once COVID's over, I'll be going to Mexico for fucking Christmas. That being said, you have the option of mobility. And we're seeing that today, right now, in United States. Cali to Texas, New York to Florida. And people are fed up with what's happening in their state. And so the number one thing you can do if you're realizing that your state doesn't have the necessary... I put it this way, guys. We are heading to a period of time where states, provinces, and nations need to fight for their citizens where, hey, we have the best value proposition. That's where it's heading. And we as human beings are nomadic creatures, and we conquer the world because we're bipedal, and we were hunters and gatherers, and we went everywhere. We're nomadic by genetics. And I know people are scared to move around places, but at the end of the day, if you're looking at statistics and your state is a fucked up state, or in Canada has I want to say same, different as they say. You know, it's different in BC than Ontario, much different in fucking Quebec. You still have options from different provinces. You still have options for different cities. I keep on raving about this, or I would say I keep on raging about this. Like, move away from the city. I moved away. Almost done 100%. City life is done, man, for young families. Like, if you're a young guy and you want to go bars and clubs, yeah, I get it, man. I was fucking partying for 15 years of my life. Age of 15 to like 26 or more than, like, ridiculous. I get it. But if you're a young family, you have kids and a wife and or partner, whatever, what does city life have to offer you? 10 times the cost of living? Or what? What's your value proposition? To be in debt for the rest of your life? There's no value proposition. It's not at all. Leave the city, man. Remote work. And so these claims or these numbers is not surprising to me whatsoever. I think it's time for people to wake up and realize mobility. Move. You know, if we're going to be now, I really do believe in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to be entering a stage where provinces, states, and nation states will be fighting for people to be there. Because at the end of the day, they need us because they need to tax us. Without our tax dollars, they can't function as a government. Now I can get a whole different tangent talking about MMT and why they even need to fucking tax us if they can print unlimited fucking money as much as they want. But that's a different conversation we'll have another time. Now on to other things that is connected to this, but not connected. Same, so. Billionaire hedge fund manager Alan Howard is backing a little-known fund that's buying Bitcoin and Ether. Alan Howard, billionaire hedge fund manager, is among the backers of a new institution-focused investment firm that's eyeing as much as $1 billion allocation to Bitcoin and Ether by yearly next year. According to Bloomberg, One River Asset Management CEO Eric Peter set up a new company to capture institutional interests in the two major cryptocurrencies. He told the publication he bought more than $600 million in Bitcoin and Ether, a process that was completed in November. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Bitcoin has surpassed its all-time high. You know what that means? Once Bitcoin pops, it flows down. Then you have Ethereum will pop. Then it'll pop down to the altcoins. And it looks like it. We don't want to jump the ship too early right now. You don't want to pop your cherry too early or be premature. But it looks like we're entering the next bull market. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I personally don't care. But it's something to keep an eye on. I've been like, listen, I was talking about Bitcoin for a long time. I've been in crypto. I remember I entered Bitcoin when it was just Bitcoin. When it was Bitcoin and color coin. There was no Ethereum. It was just literally just one thing. It was Bitcoin and people trying to build on top of Bitcoin and different color coins on Bitcoin. And then they're talking about sidechain and this and that. Like, and here we are. You know, years later, and we have thousands of currencies and different blockchains, and now we're NFTs and all this stuff. And one thing has remained the status quo. The same message is Bitcoin is a different asset class. It is the first time ever we have devised a new monetary system that is devoid of state. The first one being not money, but being religion. We separated religion from state. Now, money from state. Now, it might not be money as people define as money. We can call this maybe even digital gold. So I call it an asset. So we have separated asset from state. And people think it's too late. Listen, Bitcoin has value proposition that is beyond just money. I think the money proposition is a gamification when it comes to the incentives for people to be interested in it. But remember, that is secondary to the fact of the properties of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin didn't have the properties of number one, at least in my mind, the most important property being censorship resistance. Without that key fundamental property, the monetary aspect of Bitcoin wouldn't primarily exist. Everything else is secondary. The very notion that is censorship resistant through the proof of work consensus system that they have is the primary value proposition of Bitcoin. The fact that you can memorize a seed phrase in your mind or write it down on a piece of paper, and it's portable. It is very cheap to transfer. You can send $1 million of Bitcoin. Might cost you a couple of bucks, peanuts compared to wire transfers and the time it takes. But the fact that it's censorship resistance is first, and the incentive of monetary gain is second. Now, a lot of people will be coming right now saying, oh, well, Bitcoin at $24,000 too expensive. In my mind, I think Bitcoin is going to be 100K at least. I don't know when. I don't really care. But what's more important is the fact that if I decide to leave where I live, and this goes back to my original video, this one, I want to tie this together. If I decide I want to leave somewhere, I might leave a state and I might have a bank in one state, or I might just leave a whole country in general and decide I'm going to go fuck off and live on an island somewhere. That portability and the censorship resistant is that key to the nomadic lifestyle that we as hunters and gatherers once were. And so I urge you guys, listen, it's not about, hey, I'm going to put my life savings in Bitcoin, or hey, oh, Bitcoin's not going to do another 10x. It's a very notion this asset is censorship resistant and portable. Like, this is the thing I kind of keep on iterating on people. I think a lot of people in North America, it's not fair to say, most of us are immigrants, so we've experienced regimes and governments that really are dictatorship-like. But people who are, let's say, natively born third generation, fourth generation, and the family's been here from the get-go, they haven't really experienced government regimes that are true dictatorship, whether that is from China, or my parents are former Yugoslavia, or whether that Venezuela, or places in Africa, or even during Soviet time in Russia. Until you experience when the guns start coming down and the government really clamps on everything, then you would really appreciate the importance of something that is censorship resistant, portable, that you control. And I'll leave it at that. Peace.